I want to, first of all, really hit what you're announcing here at this Female Leadership Conference. You're aiming for 50-50 in terms of female to male executives. How do you go about imposing that?
Well, you know, this journey started for us 6 years ago when we really co-founded with Dylan McGee Makers as a brand, and it was our first real investment in the women's leadership space. And you know, we want to not just be an investor in the media side of Makers, and there's 4,500 women's stories on Makers, the largest catalog online of women's leadership stories. We also want to lead as a company in the space, and I think it was clear to us. We did a meeting with our executives and our up-and-coming women executives, and they asked us, I said, is there one thing that we could do as a company that would really send a message and be great for the company also? They said, could we get to 50-50 gender diversity at the top of the company, in the top 1,000 positions, you know, in the company? And so we discussed it, we made a commitment to it, we announced it on stage here about an hour ago. And we're in the process right now, we started a couple months ago, of kind of getting the company reestablished in our recruiting and our internal employee development and the future. So by 2020, we really want to be 50-50 across the board in our executive team and the top management of the company. And it's a bold goal, but we're going to figure out how to do it.
And equal pay by 2020. Give us, if you're an entrepreneur who's watching, a business leader, the step-by-step approaches you need to achieve that.
Yeah, so we've diagnosed the issues we have around it. And I think, one, it starts outside the company with what I would call pools, where we're getting the talent from in different talent pools. So we need to reconnect our recruiting efforts into broader pools, and in some cases, pools we're not in today. So if I just went to the company and said, hey, we want to be 50-50 by 2020, and I just said, get going, let's go faster, we'd go to the same pools. We have to change what we're doing. So we've been rewiring the pools recruiting. And second is having the environment at the company. When you come in to interview, we have to represent what you think the company is in the space and what we're going to be doing. So if you're a female executive coming in, part of the interview process should be you're meeting with female executives and getting that side of the story from us in terms of why you'd want to come. And the last piece is just the internal employee development process, which is if you are diverse talent, if you're a female executive and you want to move your career along in general, we actually have to put the fundamental steps in place, which we've been doing to do that. So our plan over the next 2 or 3 years is to really put an investment, just like we bought the Huffington Post or did the TechCrunch deal or those things. We're going to do a deal around this issue, and that's what we announced on stage today. We're serious about it. Just like any other startup issue you deal with, we're going to figure out how to do it, and our employees are very engaged in it and excited about it.
Talk to me about another deal, the Yahoo deal. How optimistic, pessimistic, frustrated are you by the timeline as it stands?
Yeah, so first, let me start with the Yahoo brand and the Yahoo talent. I think that the Yahoo brand remains a brand that we care about, and many people care about in the world. The talent there, we've had a great experience with them in the integration process over the last 6 months.
And that's still going well, the integration?
The integration process has been on track. You know, they've had the data breaches there, and so the deal sits right now as we're waiting for information to come back from Yahoo about the second data breach and to figure out if there's any changes in value to the deal.
Timeline on that?
You know, I think it's ongoing right now. I wouldn't want to give a timeline, but you know, I'd assume during Q1 we'll probably have a lot more information from them, and once we have that, then we can sit down and discuss with them in a really coherent way, you know, next steps in terms of what the outcome should be. And it's too early to have that discussion. I'm hopeful the deal closes. I think we really have a high appreciation for Yahoo overall. We just need to figure out whether or not there's been value changes, you know, based on the breaches. That's really how simple it is.
The driver for Yahoo is to bring on more web users, to be a powerhouse, to become the #3 player. When you're looking at mobile advertising, Facebook and Google dominate the space. How are you going to be the #3 player? Can you be?
Sure, yeah. We bring something unique to the table. First of all, Google and Facebook in our world are gold medal athletes. They are performing well. They're executing well. You saw their recent numbers. They've done a very good job, and they continue to do a good job. The one space that we want to be an Olympic athlete in and we want to be a gold medalist is in the brand space. And we really, the same way Google cares about search and Facebook cares about social, we care about brand. And as you've noticed on the social networks with fake news and things like that, and in the search space where people have really been, it's going to more AI than it is user-directed search, brands become a really important role. So we want to be owners and partners in content brands, and we want to have a brand advertising system which really helps find new consumers for customers and push them all the way through the conversion funnel. But if I said to you simply, Facebook is social, Google is search, we're going to be brand. everything we're doing at the company is around brand, and we're really excited about the future of advertising and brand for digital because it hasn't really been cracked yet, and we're probably one of the 2 or 3 companies in the world furthest ahead on it.